I'm here with a different video. In here today we have an HP Pavilion and two-in-one laptop. It's a Pavilion 11x2 PC. It's a two-in-one format. Pretty much what it does, it's you can detach the top part with a keyboard and mouse. You can have it as a tablet, or you can have it as a base with the keyboard and mouse. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to open up the tablet portion and replace the battery in here. So all you need for this job, it's an opening tool. Because the back cover, it doesn't have any screws or anything like that. You're going to grab yourself an opening tool. I use a guitar pick. You can use anything that you like. You want to stick the guitar pick between the top and the bottom cover. And you just want to wiggle it around. Just like that. You don't want to stick the whole thing in there, just a little bit. And you want to do the sides quickly. And do the other side while I'm holding with the other hand. It doesn't close back down. And do that. And do the same thing at the bottom side. You stick it between the top and the bottom cover. And then. Mine actually came out very easy. Yours might not come out easy. You might feel something holding in the middle. You just have to wiggle it around, move it up, because there will be some clips that holding it in the middle. These clips that actually hold it from this metal part. So you can actually have to move it around a little bit to jiggle it around to come out, to let go. After a few times that you open it up, it's just gonna get looser. So it's gonna be easier to open it up after a few times. Once you remove the back cover, first thing first, you want to see the battery connector right there. Right there, you want to see the battery connector. You want to disconnect it by pulling this jack backward. Just like that. You don't want to yank on the cables. Next, once you remove that, you want to unhook the both cameras, the back facing and the front facing cameras. This one, the front facing camera, has a little hinge right here. You want to lift this one 90 degrees. And the back facing one, you have to actually slide the white covers towards the camera just about a 1 millimeter. Like that. And then you can just slide the flex cable out, slide them out. Okay, slide it and close the lid so you don't break it. Next, you want to remove the Wi-Fi connectors. Just lift it up. You want to remove the on-off switch that comes from here, goes here, from here goes to the bridge. You want to pull this jack out. All right. You might not have this tape here, but you want to remove this foil tape, copper foil tape right from there. That's the antenna. If it doesn't come out, if it rips, nothing will happen. Don't worry about it. In here, I couldn't remove it, so I just ripped it from here. So if you can just take your time, go ahead and like that, and then lift it up. You can go ahead and do this, but I already cut it through, so yeah. And the next step is to remove the heatsink, which is this huge plate right here. You're gonna grab your screwdriver set. I use the UFIXTEK tool set, and we're gonna be using bit number 0, Phillips number 0. I believe it's for all of them. Yeah. We're going to use Phillips number 0. And we're going to remove all the screws that are touching this top plate. So this one right here, there, one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 screws. Once you remove all the screws, then you can go ahead and lift up the heatsink. If you want, you can go ahead and clean up the thermal paste. And now the battery is right here and here. We're gonna remove the screws for the battery. They're labeled with an arrow, white arrow. So remove all the white arrow screws. And now we want to disconnect this bridge cable right here. So lift up this hinge 90 degrees and pull out this ribbon cable. You can go ahead and rip this off. You can disconnect it from this end and slide it out. Now the battery should come out pretty easy, so you can actually help it out from this end a little bit. You don't tell me. Wow. They actually put the battery under the motherboard. Wow. That's kind of nasty thing to do. So in order to remove the battery, not that only we have to remove the heatsink, now we have to remove the whole motherboard. That includes the SSD drive right here. So let's go ahead and do it. Remove the SSD M.2 drive by removing one screw. And then lift up in 45-degree angle. Pull it out in 45-degree angle. Now we gotta remove the BIOS battery. Just pull out the jack for the BIOS battery. Let me get my tweezers. Remove this vibrator motor right here. Goes to the board. That's what makes it vibrate. Remove that. Remove the jack for the power supply jack. Also now we're gonna lift up this tape right here to unplug the flex cable for the screen, so pull it backward. Unplug the speaker cable, just pulling this jack backward. Now, so I'm not too sure what is this jack for, but let's pull it backward. I'm guessing it's the dock station, I guess. So now we need to remove the Wi-Fi board by removing one screw. And then you want to pull out the Wi-Fi board in the same position. Don't yank it upward. We need to remove the bottom bezel. So to remove the bottom bezel, remove all the screws right here. So there's that. Anything that touches the top plastic one, we want to remove. There we go. Now once you remove the top bezel, we just want to lift it up from here and pull it outwards so we can disconnect this part. There we have it. Now it's going to be really easy. All we need to do, we need to remove all the screws for the main board. So there's going to be one there, one right there. So two right there. And one on the top part right here. And I don't see. You can go ahead and remove the power jack too, so we don't pinch the cables there. There's only two screws holding it. So go ahead and remove the power jack. Now we should be able to lift up the motherboard from here and slide it out this way. So there's your motherboard, built on board RAM. So the RAMs are non-replaceable. They are soldered on the board. If you have a question regarding that. Now that we removed that, you can see even they had a bridge over the battery going through all cross. We can go ahead and lift up the battery and then pull it out, and there's your battery to replace. The model number for this one is an NB02XL notebook battery. So if you want to replace it, go with that part number, or an HP replace part, spare part is a 726596-001. If you want to buy it off HP part number, that will be the part number for HP. But if you want to buy it from the market, you can buy with a model with an NB02XL. Let's say that you got the new battery here. You want to place it in the same position all the way back. Make sure this notches right here at the back. There are 3 notches on every corner that goes right through, and make sure there's no cable staying underneath. Place it right there. All right, now that we have the battery in place, Okay, what we need to do, we need to grab the motherboard. I already cleaned the CPU. We're gonna apply a new thermal paste. So we're gonna grab the motherboard in this position. We're gonna slide it in there and make sure you pull the ribbon cable for the screen over and place it in there. All the cables back here, they have to go over, so pull them up. Make sure it sits nice and tidy in there. Next, you want to grab the power jack, put it in place. Connect the cable, slide it in. Put the 2 screws for the power jack. Okay. Let's go ahead and connect this one over here. So slide that one over there. Connect the audio, the speakers right here. Just pull it in. Run the cable so you don't get pinched in somewhere in there. Connect the vibrator or the motor. Slide it in there. Let's see if I can get it in this really tiny. There we go. Alright. Grab the Wi-Fi board. Put the Wi-Fi board in an angle. Slide it all the way in. And make sure it's all the way in there. Put it in there. Put the screw for it. And connect the cable for the main board. Push it in there. Connect the Wi-Fi board antenna. Alright. Lift up the lock for the webcam. Slide it underneath. Hold it. Close the lock. Same thing in this one. All the way in. And push the locks all the way back. Make sure the cables are run nicely. Connect the CMOS battery. Alright. Connect the cable for the screen. You have to slide it from the side way in. Make sure it's nicely aligned underneath. And then you want to pull it towards the CPU and make sure the connector it closes. Right there. Now we need to put the screws. There's some magnet here holding these screws. So go ahead and let's see which screw was where. I'm guessing that one was right there. You can go ahead and try putting this one over first. So let me lift it up a little bit. There's this light switch, transparent plastic right here. So we're trying to put this one in there first. Right there. And then we're gonna put the cover right on top. Alright. Make sure the cover is right there sitting nicely. The audio jack is not in the way. Now we're gonna put the screws for this one. Let's put this one over here. The white screw goes all the way on top. And I am guessing this one goes over there. Let's put the white screw. So you can watch the video backward to see which screw goes where. Alright, the screws that we removed from here, we gotta put them back. The battery screws. So there we go. Now we're gonna put the ribbon cable from the board from this end. Make sure you hold it with the tweezers all the way to this side. Okay, now lock that in place. We're gonna put the hard drive right in there. Slide it all the way down. Put the screw for the hard drive. It's the flat one. Next, I'm not gonna plug in anything. Just double check, make sure everything is in place. Yep, and this screw goes right beside this one over here. SD card reader. Once we have all that in, you want to clean up the CPU again. Place the die in there. Clean up the die nicely with an alcohol. I'll leave the link in the description for all the components, all the stuff that I use. And then you want to grab your thermal paste. I use an MX4. Paste nice tiny amount on the CPU. Now you're gonna grab your CPU and we are gonna place it over. It goes that way around on top, just like that. And then first thing, you want to put these two tiny screws for the right beside the CPU. One is right there. It says 1 and 2. You can do 2 and 1 or 1 and 2. Doesn't matter, whichever you want. I put the 2 and then I put the 1. Right there. Okay. Now we're gonna put this 3 and 4. Okay. Now we're gonna do the rest. These are just to hold up the plate. It's not a big deal. It's not gonna go anywhere. Now you can just tape up the Wi-Fi stuff here, so if you want to. Alright. So we got all the screws in here, nice in place. We got the screws for the motherboard and all in there. And the last thing will be to plug in the battery connector right there. And that's it. And that's how you replace your battery. Pretty much you have to take the whole thing apart. You do a repaste anyway. So, and the last thing is to put the top cover on top and just press it down. Just like that. All around, make sure you hit those clicks. If you have any opening, just pinch them. And that's it. And there we go, we powered it on. We should see a screen coming. There it is. It said the CMOS battery, it was reset. So press enter to continue. I don't have my dock station to connect. And we are all set. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you guys have any questions, you know where to leave them. I'll try to answer all the comments. And I appreciate if you guys subscribe. It really helps and motivates for me to make more videos and answer your questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.